Coming up on Our News Weekend, the back and forth continues. The housing minister hitting back at the opposition leader over comments regarding a concrete housing plan for the country. Meantime, the tourism minister is boasting of an uptick in tourism numbers, particularly following the recent U.S. presidential elections. And later, today is celebrated as World Wetlands Day. Civic organizations coming together to do their part in mitigating the damaging effects of climate change. These stories and so much more as Our News Weekend starts now. This is Our News Weekend. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Megan Shepard. A 22-year-old man is in hospital receiving medical attention after being shot by police on Saturday around 5 p.m. According to reports, when officers responded to a domestic complaint at a residence on Ibis Lane, they discovered a man suffering from a wound to his forehead, reportedly stabbed by another family member. The victim was taken to the hospital by EMS. Now, shortly after, police found the suspect, still armed with a knife. In an effort to de-escalate the situation, officers gave the suspect numerous verbal commands to drop the knife, but he refused. Reports say that's when the suspect aggressively engaged the police, still armed with the knife, putting them in fear for their lives. He was subsequently shot and taken to hospital, where he is listed as serious but stable. And days after opposition leader Michael Pintard called for a more concrete housing plan, Housing Minister Keith Bell is hitting back. He says the opposition had no grounds to question the government's housing agenda. Pintard said earlier this week that the housing minister should lay out a concrete plan to address the country's affordable housing shortage, saying people don't need more empty talk on the issue. His comments came after Bell said the government is reviewing the Rent Control Act in light of rising rent costs to determine what provision needs to be amended. Pintard slammed Bell over his comments. Well, Bell hit back with this earlier this week.
The opposition has no moral authority whatsoever, including the leader of the opposition himself, because under his administration, of which he was a part of, and he may not have been the prime minister, but in the Constitution, there's what is called collective responsibility. So he sat as part of administration and did not build one home. So they have no moral authority whatsoever to address anything to do with housing as far as I'm concerned.
Meantime, tourism arrivals saw a dip ahead of the U.S. election last year, according to Deputy Prime Minister and Tourism Minister Chester Cooper. Cooper, however, telling reporters just this week those numbers have since picked up.
During late last year, we had a dip as a result of the elections. But thereafter, that's behind us and we're moving forward steady as she goes.
The first half of 2024 saw a 14% jump in arrivals to 5.7 million. Yearly arrival figures for the full year haven't been released as yet. As for the year ahead, the tourism minister gave this forecast.
We're having very steady demand. 2025 is looking very strong. We are putting in place strategies. This week we are in conclave with the senior executive team of the Ministry of Tourism.
And Bahamas entertainment offerings getting yet another edition. This as a young entrepreneur is relaunching his tour company. Owner of CMT Tours and Entertainment, LaShawn Dorsett, says his main objectives are enhancing the tourism product while also adding more options for locals.
Initially, Grand Bahama would know us as the party bus company, right? Obviously, that stigma stayed because that's all we did. We did Bahamian parties, it was a party bus. All our content was just partying. But at present, we are currently rebranding ourselves, rebranding our services so that we can accommodate the community at large. So at present, we have a contract with Carnival that is currently at Freeport Harbor, which is also now extended to Celebration Key. But for our local market, our local economy, we want to add a diverse form of entertainment for our locals as well. Transportation, weddings, funerals, birthdays, bachelorette parties, whatever you can think of, we aim to make it happen. We have a good team that will make your tour or customize your experience to the best of your ability.
The company currently has a fleet of 3 buses with plans to expand in the near future.
We believe in expanding this dream, not only to Grand Bahama, but our ultimate goal is to expand to the entire region, but we just want to start at Freeport first.
Minister for Grand Bahama, Ginger Moxie, on hand to celebrate the occasion.
It's an opportunity to share our island with the world while creating meaningful experiences for our international guests. As the Minister for Grand Bahama, I congratulate the visionary minds behind CMT Tours and Entertainment, and I'm incredibly proud that this company was one of the recipients of the Ministry for Grand Bahama's Empower Grand Bahama grant.
Tourism Minister Chester Cooper calling it a signal of hope as more young Grand Bahamians continue to invest in their community.
I believe Grand Bahamians who position themselves right now will continue to have significant benefits as the economy grows. So I'm calling on Grand Bahamians not to be deterred by the negativity, by the doom and gloom. There's significant opportunity in this economy, in this market right now. This is the best time to invest in Grand Bahama. It's a great time to invest in tourism.
Dorset had this bit of advice for other aspiring young entrepreneurs.
Every dream starts off as just that, it's just a dream. But it's important and it's imperative that you push and you strive to maintain exactly what you want to do. It isn't about money, resources are there. It's about determination. So just stick to it, don't be discouraged, because I had lots of people say to me that there are other tour companies on the island that are going to drown you out. You're not going to be successful. You have to learn to deafen your ears to the haters, so to speak, and just push forward with your dream.
Now, while on island, we use the opportunity to ask the Tourism Investments and Aviation Minister Chester Cooper for an update on the rebuilding of the Grand Bahama International Airport, as well as the sale of the Grand Lucayan Resort.
We're making steady progress. I have nothing else to say on those developments today. When there's more to tell, we're going to be releasing a statement.
Well, when Our News Weekend comes back from the break, today is World Wetlands Day, and in celebration, some 1,000 red mangroves now have new homes at Bonefish Pond. Plus, 72 graduates now better equipped to pursue their professional goals. UB North hosting an award ceremony for the latest cohort of their Sea Learn program. That's coming up when Our News Weekend returns.
Diet-friendly special.
Today is celebrated as World Wetlands Day, and here at home, the Bahamas National Trust is taking to Bonefish Pond to plant some 1,000 red mangroves. President of the BNT, Joanna Smith, shares just why this ongoing initiative is so critical to the country.
To save and the island, the whole, because a lot of the plants have been decimated with construction and development around New Providence, and we're trying to replace these mangroves in Bonefish Pond, and they're all over the place, and we've invited volunteers from other civic groups. The Rotary is here, Rotaract is here, helping us to do this, and of course our members.
Senior Science Officer Lindy Knoll says this effort is a part of their continued restoration project.
This is year 15 of our 30-year plan for restoring this area, and we have a bunch of small seedlings and slightly larger seedlings, roughly between 6 months and a year old. We're partnering today, we think, with Rotary, Atlantis, Rotarians, Alpha Kappa Alpha, and a few other private volunteers and members of the BNT to come together, plant where we can find space for the red mangroves to grow, and catching the tide as it's coming in, so that we can hopefully get this area restored in less than the 30 years that we have allocated for it.
He also explains how the red mangroves benefit the local ecosystem.
This area is very important because the mangroves serve as a nursery habitat for the baby fish, crawfish, conch, and the shrimp that we utilize and eat. It also serves as a good spot for other creatures like spotted eagle rays, turtles. We have manatees that come through every so often. And then in the case of coastal protection, these mangroves help protect all the communities that surround it or behind it. So when any rough seas come through, the mangroves through their roots just kind of calm it down a little bit. So instead of getting 17-foot swells come through, you might only get about 5 or 6-foot swells.
Now, if you're interested in playing a key role in protecting the environment for decades to come, Smith says they are also welcoming new volunteers.
It is a great opportunity if you're a member or you want to come and see what we are doing. This is the work that the BNT is doing. We are asking, we always want volunteers to come out and help us do this kind of stuff, which is an answer to climate change and the water that, the waves that come in from hurricanes and stuff like that. This is what is going to save our coastline.
Over 50 police and defense force officers will soon undergo critical water survival and rescue training, known as Dunker training, led by the U.S. Coast Guard. The training is a part of the Outback Bahamas Air Defense Program, a tripartite agreement established in 1982 to combat drug trafficking and improve maritime security through cooperations between the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, and the United States. During the opening ceremony of the program, U.S. Coast Guard Commander Mike Owens emphasized the urgency of the training.
The more realistic this training is, the better your chance of survival when one of these things happen. Mr. Ferguson mentioned that he had a chance to prepare for the ditching. That's not often the case. As we saw last night, no one was prepared for what happened last night. So, being very comfortable with your gear, being very comfortable with the aircraft you're flying on.
Police Commissioner Shanta Knowles praising the partnership between the two countries and also encouraging the officers to take full advantage of their training.
This water survival, search and rescue training further exemplifies the depth of our partnership, and it is an opportunity for our law enforcement personnel to refine their skills, enhance their resilience, and ensure that they are prepared to face the perils that that accompany their day-to-day duties.
University of the Bahamas North hosting an award ceremony Friday evening for 72 students that have successfully completed various C-Learn certification courses. The program's focuses on continued education for those already in the workforce looking to build on existing skills. Director of Continuing Education at UB, Leslie Dorset-Lewis, says she is proud to see so many young Bahamians accomplish their goals and achieve new milestones.
Tonight we celebrated students who completed 9 programs, ranging from dental assisting, certified administrative professional, to accounting programs, to project management. C-Learn UB North offers a wide range of certificate and certifications, and we are happy that persons have chosen us to continue their educational journeys.
Lisa Higgs is currently a manager at Urban Renewal. She shares what the experience was like for her returning to the classroom and how she plans to utilize her skills to better serve the community.
What I've garnished in this course will be essential in me going out in the communities and partnering with the community in bringing more help for our ministry. And, it's only the beginning of what I can do.
Christy Maycock now walking away with her certificate for dental assisting. She says this is just another step toward her goal of becoming a dental hygienist.
In the field we had clinical, we've learned dental anatomy. We've basically learned how to manage patients and work firsthand with patients. We've got to meet a lot of new patients, and this is much aspiring to others because they get to go on from this stage to another level. And a lot of people in the dental assistant field who has been in dental assistant for years, they actually got to get certified this time. So it's a big deal for us.
Now, the university is still in the final stages of selecting a new president. Dorset-Lewis was able to provide this update on the process.
As far as I'm aware, there are 3 finalists, and those finalists have been meeting with stakeholders. You would have seen announcements for stakeholder meetings. They've been to Grand Bahama to meet with staff and to check out the lay of the land. And we are excited that this process will soon come to an end and we'll have a new president.
Congratulations to all of the graduates. Still to come on Our News Weekend, a Bahamian entrepreneur is taking her mega female empowerment event to Orlando. Our Italia Hall has the details on this year's Galentine's event. But first,
Young athletes compete in track and field, and Anton Richardson shares some knowledge in Grand Bahama. We'll get into all that next on Our Sports Weekend.
Diet friendly special.
Good evening, happy Sunday. Welcome to Our Sports Weekend. I'm Tej Adderley. The 22nd Star Performers Track and Field Classic was held yesterday. Let's take a look at what happened.
We've been doing this for quite some time, and we feel like it's the number one local meet on the calendar.
That's Star Trackers head coach, legendary David Charlton. He and his team organized the meet, which saw athletes from age 7 all the way up to the open division compete.
The younger kids, we're looking at our under 15 and down to introduce them to track and field so that they can learn to love the sport and really and truly showcase their talent. Our under 17 and up, such as our under 20 and open, they can qualify for Carifta and also some of our international competitions that are coming up this summer.
At the end of the day, the young athletes gained valuable experience.
It was nice, but it was a lot of win. I feel like the organization, it was good, and I'm very excited.
I feel kind of good because I have a great chance of winning.
Now we're going to head to Grand Bahama, where Mets first base coach Anton Richardson shared his knowledge and experience with athletes and coaches.
At LDK Performance, it's always been about how do we build communities, and I think what's actually the most important thing is that like the people of this community are driving this camp today.
That's New York Mets first base coach Anton Richardson. He conducted a coaches and players baseball clinic in Grand Bahama yesterday at the opening day of Grand Bahama's Legacy Baseball League. Sonia Knowles, head of the league, said they wanted to zig where they usually zag.
We thought we would do something a little different, so we started off with a session with the parents so they can know a little bit about baseball and what to look forward to with the future for their kids. Then this morning we had the coaches clinic so the coaches can know exactly what they need to do when it comes to the training and the development of the kids.
Ethan Bain, who serves as baseball operations analyst for the Chicago White Sox and with LDK, said the organization has ambitious plans for the future.
Today, we have the kids at a Legacy and GB and everybody here to just, walk them through a traditional practice and to teach them some of the fundamentals to learn. And, one of the things that we would like to do going forward is to continue to come back down here to build on that foundation.
Great work by LDK and Legacy Baseball. Before we go, Coach Joe and the Rebels played the Vanderbilt Commodores in Nashville earlier this afternoon. The scores are on our social, so check that out. That's a wrap for sports this evening. For Our Sports Weekend, I'm Tej Adderley. Have a great week.
Thanks so much, Tej. Well, the Carifta Games for both track and field and swimming are set to be held in Trinidad and Tobago on the Easter weekend. Now, if you follow regional news, Trinidad and Tobago is currently under a state of emergency due to gang violence and an increasing level of homicides. We asked Sports Minister Mario Boleg earlier this week whether he was concerned about the games and our athletes' safety.
We are in the early stage. The Carifta is not until Easter time, but at the end of the day, those who are responsible for the Carifta, they will make a decision on whether the games will remain there or not.
According to Boleg, no matter what happens, athletes and citizens who travel with them will be safe.
The Bahamas will take the steps that's necessary to safeguard the athletes and the citizens, and so we just wait to see what's the outcome. We got literally 2 to 3 more months, so I don't want to, speak too early on that matter.
On the other side of this break, our meteorologist, Ian McKenzie, joins us from the Weather Center, and he's got a check on temperatures you can expect for the week ahead. Stick with us.
Diet friendly special.
Welcome back. It's time now for a look at temperatures across the country with meteorologist Ian McKenzie. Ian.
Thanks, Megan, and good evening, Bahamas. Welcome to your Sunday evening forecast. We had a pretty nice day on the outside, but currently outside our studios, we're under partly cloudy skies with a temperature of 76. Feels like at 78. Winds are from the east-northeast at 10 miles per hour. Across the country, we have 75 in Freeport as well as in Allenstown, Bimini, 77s in Nicholstown, Governors Harbor as well, 76s in Great Harbor Key and in the capital, and 74 in Marsh Harbor. Central Bahamas, we have 78s continuing in Kemps Bay, Georgetown, and in Deadman's Key, a pair of 76s in Arthurstown and in Coburn Town, San Salvador. Southeast Bahamas, 78s in Duncantown and in Matthewtown, Inagua, 77s dominating elsewhere, Colonel Hill, Delectable Bay, Abrahams Bay, and in Providenciales, Turks and Caicos. Satellite and radar imagery at this time, we have a stall-out frontal boundary still persisting just north of our area. Few possible across the extreme northwest Bahamas. Elsewhere, high pressure dominating, producing mostly dry and stable conditions. In your boating forecast for the northwest Bahamas, expect winds to be east to southeast 10 to 15 knot, seas 2 to 4, but up to 5 feet offshore, and those subsiding swells. High tide at 11 p.m. tonight, low tide at 5:16 a.m. tomorrow morning. Central and southeast Bahamas, still a caution out there for you boaters and swimmers. Winds easterly 15 to 20, seas 4 to 7 feet in those easterly swells. And in your extended forecast, folks, pretty much stable conditions will persist throughout the week. No threat of any front, so no extreme low temperatures for you persons that complain about aches and pains. So we're getting up into the low 80s for your highs, and your lows hanging around the upper 60s, low 70s. That's a wrap in the evening forecast. Make it a great, safe, fun night, everyone.
So much, Ian. The Red Cross ball back and bigger than ever this year. Hundreds of attendees came together and had a ball, all for a good cause. Our Danielle Miller was there and tells us more.
An evening that dazzles with fashion, decor, dancing, food, and the most influential people in the country. This is the Red Cross's annual ball.
One of the familiar faces in the room was our very own executive producer, Jerome Sawyer, who was the evening's host at the Atlantis' Grand Ballroom. The room came alive with red lights and delightful decor that dazzled. This year's theme was Mystic Blossoms, an enchanted journey through Asia. Just as impressive as the decor was the attire worn by hundreds of guests.
Once I found out that the theme was Asian, I was like, I watched a Korean movie and I was like, okay, I need a headpiece. And then I was like, okay, a kimono.
This was the organization's 51st year hosting the fundraiser, and this year's honorees were Sir Franklin Wilson, his wife Lady Sharon Wilson, and CEO of Gilgad Company Limited, Elaine Pinder.
The Red Cross is one of those organizations that help the less fortunate. And we know, the less fortunate, there are persons among us, less fortunate, marginalized for a whole variety of reasons.
It's been about, from the late 1990s, we were supporting the Red Cross Fair, the balls, giving donations, and just raffle tickets. So it's been quite a while, and I feel special to have been on it.
With every grand ball, there is entertainment. Music was provided by the Royal Bahamas Defense Force Band, the Royal Bahamas Police Band, the Rhythm Band, and Bloody.
Listen to me. If you don't know, once the rhythm hits the stage tonight, we have a motto. The rhythm is going to get you.
Guests were indeed captivated by the sounds of the band and danced into the early morning. Reporting for Our News, I'm Danielle Miller.
Looks like a great night. Thanks so much, Danielle. In less than a month, a Bahamian entrepreneur and women's empowerment advocate will take her Galentine's Vibes event to Orlando, Florida. This highly anticipated gathering, hosted under Wifer Ministry, aims to foster collaboration, sisterhood, and personal growth among women worldwide. Italia Hall has more.
Meet Sammy Stewart, the founder of Wife Her Ministry. Stewart first launched Galentine's Vibes in 2018 after getting married. Initially hosted in the Bahamas, the event later transitioned to Zoom during the COVID-19 pandemic before expanding to Canada and various U.S. states. Today, it has become a hallmark event for women seeking empowerment, networking, and inspiration.
The impetus was to help women to pour from a full cup. We give out and we pour so much, and so we want women to be healed, empowered, and restored for any transition, not just marriage, but career shifts, shifting to motherhood, any type of transition you can experience.
Stewart says the event will spotlight Bahamian culture and talent on the international stage, and she shares what attendees can expect.
You can expect informative sessions, you can expect great worship, we have interactive sessions, we have beautiful photo activations, we try to embody a spirit of excellence no matter where we go. We have Cara T. Newton coming from the Bahamas, quite a number of speakers coming from the Bahamas.
She also revealed that a large number of tickets have already been sold, and business owners will have the opportunity to showcase their products and services.
We have Her Market, which is a vendor market set up across the 2 days. And it's because we have so many Bahamians, it's a great way to, number one, showcase your products or services to your audience, and also to launch your business internationally. It will be in Orlando, and you may think that's just a plane ride away, but that is launching your business internationally, and you will interact with people from all across the United States, maybe even some people from Canada. So you're exposing your business beyond the reach that you could get just being local here.
And to make it easier for Bahamians to attend, Bahamas Air is offering a special rate for travelers heading to Orlando for the event. Additionally, Stewart revealed that each night of the event will have a unique theme and outfit selection.
Because our theme is birthing ground, we wanted to just give ode to like rainbow babies, so babies born after periods of disappointment. And so we have a rainbow dress code for Friday night. When you first come in, it's very colorful, pink and orange, which is the colors of the ministry, and then we go into our pastels throughout the weekend. But don't let the dress code stress you out. I keep telling people that when in doubt, wear white.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Italia Hall.
Thanks so much, Italia, and thank you for joining us for Our News Weekend. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Megan Shepherd. Have a safe and wonderful evening. Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you want to see more content like this. Just click right over here. And don't forget to turn on your notifications so you stay up to date with content like this from the team you already trust.